All right, welcome back to the channel. I'm Chris with Pop Gaming. Today, we're going to talk about a new Splinter Cell game. We're going to talk about Tencent buying up the market and a couple other games that are going to be released. And apparently, Halo finally fixed the Battle Pass, maybe. I'm the host, Chris. With me, we got Thor, who woke up, rolled off the couch. What's up, Fran?
I rolled out of bed, but yeah, off the couch works
Bed,
too.
couch. You took a nap. I thought maybe it was the couch. We also got Schwamne, Mr. Dan.
What's up?
And of course, the biggest Spider-Man fan ever, the Matt Man.
Oh yeah, I'm here.
Hey, thanks for getting those tickets, by the way. That movie was great this week.
Absolutely.
I can't believe Fran skipped it, but you know. Well, let's start with the Steam Deck. I know you've been excited about that, Dan. They're saying that despite the chip shortages and issues, they're going to meet their February release. Now, they already delayed it once, right? What was the original release date for this?
The original release date was actually supposed to be December, so this month of 2021, and then they pushed it back a couple months at least. But they're still, I guess, on target, like you said, for February. But I'm excited. I'm hoping I get my hands on it early. And if so, if we ever do an in-person podcast, we could show it there as well.
That'd be cool.
Unboxing.
Yeah, we could do an unboxing, which we have another unboxing coming up
I thought
that
you
I didn't
should
finish
do
yet.
boxing. I thought maybe there was an awesome boxing
Boxing
game on
match.
it.
We're gonna fight over it.
No,
Well,
I just thought maybe there was
originally-
a cool boxing game.
Dan, weren't you supposed to get it later, like in January or something?
Yeah, so I was supposed to get it
Or like
quarter
month
one,
behind?
2022, like I guess January. And then everyone got pushed back a little bit because of the shortages, but Valve said they aren't going to delay it any further, so hopefully that will happen. I know Phil Spencer from Xbox, he actually went to Valve's headquarters and tried it himself. He said Halo ran fine on it and xCloud and everything, so he had high praise for it too. So, you don't just have to play Steam games too. Like you can install any client. Like you can just install Windows on it and play like Call of Duty and everything like
oh,
that.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I
So-
remember people saying that you could actually play Warzone
Yeah,
on the
you can
go, which was
install
kind of
Windows,
cool.
Matt, and Battle.net. Like it doesn't have to be Steam games, which is cool. Like it's just like a regular PC. So I'm definitely excited for it. See how Warzone runs, and then go from there.
I mean, from the sounds of it, they showed the Star Wars, what is it, Fallen Order game?
Yeah.
And
they
it
showed
seemed to
Devil May
run really
Cry
well.
5. It ran at like a steady 60 FPS.
Yeah.
Like high, medium, high settings, I think, for like, and it ran natively on the device, not like through cloud or anything. So it's really cool. It runs off it by default runs off Valve's own operating system, which is Linux based. But apparently there's a new Linux type of feature where it allows Linux games to run or Windows games to run on Linux. So like it's easier for developers so they don't have to make their games on Linux and everything like that, which is cool. So there should be way more games available than there were on the Steam machines, which everyone forgot about. So I think it will be more successful. I like the whole controller too because there's so many different like ways you can use it. It has the touchpads, it has the standard joysticks, it has gyro, it has a touch screen, it has all these different features, and I think it has
Yeah.
some back buttons too, if I remember correctly, like the Elite controller.
Yeah, I
think
believe it
might have
did.
2 of them.
I liked how it had the trackpad. I thought that would be hard to use, but from all the
Mhm.
people that like previewed it and stuff, they said it really wasn't bad. It was pretty intuitive, so it's kind of interesting. It looks like you'll be able to play a variety of games with it. Hopefully, you know, I guess you'll be getting yours in what, March? Or is it still
Somewhere
February
around
for
there.
everyone?
Yeah.
Like I wasn't sure if it pushed you back also, like when it pushed the other ones back.
Yeah, we'll see. It was nice though, because the people who their system for ordering it really helped combat bots and scalpers because you had to have a Steam account with games purchased on it for at least like 2 years. Like your account has to be at least 2 years old, so you can't just make a fresh account and make a reservation for the item. So I really like that system. It definitely helps
that
combat
would be
bots and
good.
everything. I
That's
think
I've
people
had
should
interesting.
accounts for
follow
like
suit
10
with
years
that.
now.
Yeah.
I'm curious how Unreal 5 will look on there.
I mean, we'll talk about that later. I didn't think it ran too well on the PS5, but we'll talk about that later.
Well, we could jump into that now. So, did you try the Matrix demo? The Matrix demo come out for, I'm sure Fran probably didn't know. or maybe you did. But so they
No,
put
I
a.
did not know.
It's like a tech demo. It's not a real demo of a game. It's a tech demo for the Unreal Engine 5, but it's in like the Matrix universe, and it's kind of cool. Like I tried it out. Were you able to try it, Dan?
Yeah, I played it on the PS5, like I said. I mean, the graphics look stunning and everything. Like the car scene was kind of cool, but I could tell it was dropping frames. Like I was getting like 20 FPS. Granted, like it looks really good and everything. It's just a tech demo. It's still early technology, but it was really cool. It's just I definitely did notice the frame dropping though, so they definitely
See,
need to optimize it more to everything.
that's interesting. I didn't really notice any frame dropping on mine. That's weird. Like
I
on the
don't know,
Series X.
maybe it runs better on the Series X. I mean, the Series X is more powerful than the PS5 too, though, right?
It's close though. I mean, it's pretty comparable.
Yeah.
Did you
Like
try it,
graphically,
Matt, or
like
no?
it definitely
Oh,
looks
sorry.
better.
Nah, I didn't get a chance. I have it downloaded, but I seen it when this YouTuber put up a video of it. It looked really good.
So the idea is you jump in and basically virtual Keanu Reeves explains things to you, like about the new engine, and then you like jump into the Matrix as this female, and you're working there with Trinity, and you're just basically shooting cars. It's almost like an on rails, like it's what's the thing where you push the buttons? It's like a quick time event. You just aim and shoot. Like you don't actually
very
aim.
similar
It
to the
locks
Matrix
on.
Reloaded and the car chase
Yeah.
scene with the shooting
Yeah,
from there.
and it has this big, like, over the top, like, action set piece that, like, introduces you to all these things. But then after that, it shows you a short demo of, like, the real time lighting and all the dynamic textures and stuff. And then it just throws you into, like, this reproduction of New York City. And you can walk around, you can jump in any car that's parked and drive around. You can wreck into things and see how it wrecks. You can switch into, like, a drone mode where you can fly through the city and fly next to any building and go anywhere. And it was interesting. It was really neat. Like Dan said, the graphics look amazing. You can change like the time of day and the sun position and all these different settings. And then if you go under the menu, you can actually look at like the triangles that each building is made up of and like the material settings. And then they have like a setting to say what is breakable and what isn't breakable. Like it was kind of interesting, I thought, but it's just a tech demo. It's not like a fun demo to play. It's just kind of cool to walk around that world and see it. And I think it looks good for things to come. Like I didn't know you had frame slowdown. I didn't really notice any slowdown. I did notice a little bit of a loading time in between each section. Like you do the car race, and then before it did like the video, there was a loading time, and then before it put me back into the open world, there was a loading time. But like other than that, I didn't really notice any issues. And I thought it was kind of neat. I did notice if you go into drone mode and fly along the buildings, like each interior was different. But it almost feels like each interior is just a picture because you can't go in the buildings, you can't interact with it, but you can just see it as you fly by. And then some of them seem similar or repeated. Not often though. I give them credit. They definitely did a lot of different interiors, which, you don't usually expect that level of detail in something like this, but it was, I don't know, it was pretty cool. I guess it's, something for us to see coming forward, because the next topic actually is Stalker. There's a new game coming out. I believe it's February, and it's Stalker 2. It's going to be on Game Pass, so you can play it. You might even be able to pre-install it now. And they're going to be, I think, one of the first games to be released that is using Unreal Engine 5. I don't know. Did you guys see anything about those at all?
No.
So, well, I mean, if you didn't, you didn't.
Yeah.
But like I personally, I kind of like Stalker. I played the first one only a little bit. It reminds me a lot of Metro. Metro is like a survival horror game, kind of.
That's because it's from like the same developer, at least like part of the old development team. They moved to Metro. That's why it's definitely similar.
Well, that makes
Just wanted to
sense.
point
I
that
didn't
out.
know that. Yeah, because I liked Metro. I thought Metro was cool. It was like kind of a survival horror in like the old, what is it, like some part of the Ukraine or Russia. Like
Yeah,
it
it's
was
in,
really
like,
cool.
Ukraine or Russia.
And so Stalker's similar to that. They always deal with like the paranormal, with like the radiation of Chernobyl and everything. And so I don't know. I thought it looked pretty cool. Looking at the preview and stuff, I think the game looks really good. But then the other half of it was they're trying to be just like Ubisoft and EA and all these other companies that want to get into these blockchain mechanics. So Stalker apparently announced that they're going to have some type of NFT thing where you can, earn these, I guess, digital items that you can actually sell for real money. And actually, they were supposed to have an auction in January where they were going to auction off an NPC basically. If you won that auction, you owned this NFT and you became an NPC that they said was the metahuman, whatever that means for the game. I'm not really sure. But Dan, you were saying something about that. Did they get rid of that or cancel
Yeah,
that?
they actually completely canceled the whole NFT process because there was a lot of outrage because of it, which I'm glad. So it's no
Wait, so
longer
they
going to be a
canceled
thing.
all the NFTs in that game altogether?
Yeah, from what I saw online, yeah, they
Oh
canceled
wow.
that.
Yeah, I didn't see it.
So
That's crazy.
yeah, I know. Unlike Ubisoft, they're still pushing the NFT thing despite the fact that their YouTube video got like downvoted, like bombed. But they're at least listening to feedback and they stopped doing it altogether.
Well, we know Matt hates NFTs. What do you think about it, Fran? Do you think it's something like you would play a game like even say Call of Duty? You play a lot of Call of Duty. Would you play a Call of Duty if they're like, "Hey, if you, beat the battle pass, you can earn this item that's worth
Yeah, but if you can
Bitcoin."
earn it just for free, I mean, just from playing the game, I don't see the problem. It's
Yeah, I
when you
mean,
start to
here's the
auction
thing.
it off, you're not
Here's
going to
the thing.
compete with the guys who are going to put up, say, I don't even know. I'm sure they could probably sell something for like $50,000.
Well, the
That's
next
I can just
article
screenshot it,
deals with a
so
lot of
it's
money.
stupid.
Well, you could
Yeah.
screenshot it, but that's what we talked about before when we talked about it. So with pictures, yeah, you're right. Like the whole Todd McFarlane blockchain odd key company. Yeah, so I can just pull that up on the internet and take a screenshot of it. But in-game items are something that you actually use in-game. You could screenshot them, but you can't really, use them. You know what I mean? Like they're
Yeah,
more of a
that's
3D type thing.
that's a kind of NFT that I could get behind because that's something that's exclusive and I can use, not just a fucking JPEG.
Yeah, and I agree with that.
And the proof that you own it is that you have it on your
On my
your game.
character. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
I think the weird thing for me is that the companies are trying to make it into, they're trying to merge, in my mind, from the way I see it, they're trying to merge like Bitcoin and the cryptocurrency with gaming. That's what it feels like. Because some of them, like even, hold on, let me look real quick. On Ubisoft, they talked about theirs, and apparently theirs was called like the Quartz system or something or other, where you would earn like their version of their coin. So I feel like it's almost these game companies trying to make a legitimate cryptocurrency and trying to legitimize it through gaming. You know what I mean? And that just seems kind of weird to me. Like almost like we're being used just to make other people money, more or less. I don't know. It seems weird.
I mean, you're not wrong. More and more developers are getting greedy. They're pushing the whole $70 price tag now. Like microtransactions through the roof. Like, yeah, it's
Yeah.
another way to monetize and make more money off people.
Well, speaking of greed, there's another article I want to talk about. So Peter Molyneux, he created some obscure games. And I'm trying to think. The one was a puzzle game. I don't even, like, we know he made Populous and stuff, but a couple years ago in 2000, I think it was 12, he made this weird game where basically anybody in the world could play. You went to this web browser and you clicked on your mouse, chipping away at this block until you got to the center of it. And only one person was going to break through to the center and see whatever this was. Some secret item. I don't know if that person ever even shared what it was. I always thought that was kind of strange and weird, in my opinion. But now he came up with a new game called Legacy. And in this game, they don't really explain what you do yet. But right now, they're auctioning off land in the game, like in-game plots of land. Think almost of like The Sims Online. They're auctioning off pieces of property, of fake virtual property. Now, in one weekend, this game has made $53 million in this fake property. And the game isn't even released yet. It's not even slated, I think, until sometime next year. But their idea is that they want to take all this and like you would buy land in the game and you would create products and buildings that you could sell to other people for a type of cryptocurrency called legacy coin. And legacy coin's apparently a part of the Ethereum blockchain, all this stuff. And to me, this just seems kind of seedy that he's making a game to like legitimize their legacy coin You know what I mean? Like, it's weird to me.
It's this new trend where everybody's trying to get rich off of that next big thing, like next big Bitcoin or anything like that. So if like people think they can make like life-changing money off of this, they're gonna get involved with it, and that's why it's doing what it's doing. I'm tired of cryptocurrencies.
Yeah,
Like,
I am too.
Any of them? Can any of them actually, like, can I go? I know I can go spend Bitcoin right now, but like, what about the other ones? Can I go spend like Litecoin or Ethereum or any of that?
I think you would have to take it out and convert it
I think it's
first. I don't
just
think you
Bitcoin,
could.
saying,
to
so
be
what's the
honest. The
point
only
of
thing
it?
you could
I'm
do is
so
convert to US dollar, the
So-
other ones.
That's what I mean. So what's the point right now? I don't. Everybody's backing
Yeah.
these constantly, and like it's just
They're
another.
just backing him
method
because they want them to get big like Bitcoin, like you said.
And I get that, like,
France
but it
spent all
seems like
this
a
money on
scam.
Dogecoin. He's like, yeah, it's gonna get big. I'm just joking.
You know,
No,
I actually just
I
pulled.
said
I
it
just
was
sold the
gonna
rest
get
of my
big
Dogecoin.
when it was 10 cents, and I should have
Hold on,
when it
hold
went
on,
up
hold
to
on.
70.
I
but
bought it 4
didn't.
cents and then sold and made like $400, and then I bought again at 12 cents, and I just sold it the other day and made nothing off it. So I just got my money back.
You
Yeah.
bought it
Right.
at 12 cents. You should have got
Well, I
more
bought
than
it
your
at
money back.
no, I bought it at 4 cents and made like 400 off of it.
But here's my thing. I understand cryptocurrency. I get that. But what I don't like is it seems like they're just using gaming to make this. You know what I mean? Like they're
Yeah.
just using gaming to push it because one person actually spent $900,000 for a piece of fake property in this video game. Like, why wouldn't that person just
ridiculous.
take out
And
money
it's
and
not
buy
even
real
in real life,
property?
it's literally in a
So
video
are we
game.
blaming the
Yeah.
people who decided to let's sell this fake property, or should we blame the guy who went out and spent $900,000?
both.
We're not blaming people. We're just trying to
How
figure
do
out
I
what's
become the
happening
real
with this.
estate
What is
agent
this?
in this game?
Yeah,
I'll sell
that's
their
going to be the
land
next
for 'em.
thing. They're going to need online real estate agents for game property. Like, no, I want this property
3%.
lowball.
I
'em.
want 3% to sell it.
Like it's crazy to me. Like, so does this person that spent $900,000, almost $1 million on a piece of in-game land, like, do you think they're going to make their money back by building shit and making legacy coin? Like, I don't know. It's weird to me.
It depends on maybe the way they think it's gonna work. He might, but I don't.
I'm really
I don't
hoping
know.
it doesn't take off because it's pretty scummy.
It
Like,
just feels seedy. It feels like we're being used for people to
Yeah, of
make
course we
profit
are.
off us. That's what it
You
feels
could've
like to
spent
me.
like $900,000 on a nice piece of land in real life, and then put a building on it and sold things.
I mean, it just feels
Well-
like Dan said, they're just eking money out of people.
Fran, it's easier to do it virtually though.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
guess, it's just you.
I
press
mean,
one button
you
there,
don't got
bought
all,
this
hey,
nice
you don't got
little
all
piece
those
of land.
taxes right now,
Yeah.
huh? You pay 900
Yeah.
grand for that fake property. They're just not taxed.
Well, you got to import the goods to your land, right?
I
You just
I
make
don't
it.
know. I don't know how the game works. It's not out yet. It's not going to be out until next year sometime. But the land just went
Even-
on sale this past weekend.
I mean,
It's
like,
funny.
even before the whole NFT shit, like, for MMOs, like massive multiplayer games like WoW, like people would just like do whatever they can to get a bunch of gold, and then they'd sell it online on third-party sites for real life money. So it was already like existing, but like people were looking at other ways, and this way they're looking at more and more ways to make money.
I
Just-
think,
it already exists, is what I'm trying to say.
and
just
I
in a
agree
different
with you.
system.
Just like we talked about Fran's brother Nick, he used to create characters on World of Warcraft and then sell them online, and I get that.
Yep. Yeah,
But
'cause
the only
people would
thing
buy
is-
accounts like that.
Yeah, but with this, it's like the companies are making the money off you. Like right now, this game isn't out yet, and they already made $53 million on
It's
fake
Star-
property.
It's just like Star Citizen.
Yeah, I was talking to Chris about that the
Yeah.
other day. Dude, that game
Star
is like a scam.
Citizens
They
is
made
a black
hundreds of
hole.
millions. Yeah.
It made all this
It's still
money
not
and never got released. It's still in
and
like
they started
beta.
working on
Alpha
it in, like
right now.
2020.
Or alpha.
It's crazy.
It's in alpha right now.
It's still an alpha. The game never fucking comes out. The trailer looks great. I saw the trailer like 5 times on YouTube over the past like 3 years, and it's still
Over
nowhere
the
near.
past 3 years.
Yeah, and it's still nowhere like near coming out. No, what was funny
Yeah.
was they show a trailer that's like showing what the game is, and then they showed like a fan-made trailer where it's just like people pissed off, like shit talking you, like, what are you doing? Get over here, put your money into this. And I'm just like, I was laughing. It was hilarious. It was like what the trailer is, and then like what actually happens in the game. It was so funny. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Is that
Like, I
game
used to
ever
listen
going to
to a
come
po-
out?
I used to listen to a podcast, and the dude on there was like, "Yeah, I just bought another ship for $1,500," and they would sit there and like, "What are you doing? Why do you keep giving them money? There's no."
Because he
game.
thinks
You're
one
just
day
giving
he
them
could
money."
flip it for 8 million legacy coins or some shit.
Well, maybe this guy who invested the 900 into that fake piece of property, maybe the game will get enough hype and he could sell it before the game releases for more.
It
But
might,
people
or maybe
gotta
he
understand
plays
with
and he
video
makes
games
his
too
money.
is
I don't know.
the biggest demographic for video games is still children. So like they can't play that game.
Or even your middle-aged, like even us. But I'm not spending.
might-
Who's spending 900,000?
Yeah, it might be like early 20s, just because they have the money to
The
buy the
people are
games.
spending
Like, could you
900,000 or
imagine,
those
Dan,
and like
Dan, you're married right now, and Chris, you've had a long-term girlfriend. Could you imagine approaching them and going, "Listen, I want to take about $4,000 and purchase this in-game land. What can
This
we do
piece
with
of
that?
property.
Nothing.
Hey,
Don't worry though,
I
we're
was
gonna make
able to-
Bitcoin.
I was able to convince Deanna to buy a graphics card specifically for mining Bitcoin, but I couldn't
See,
do
that's
the whole,
different.
I'm
The
gonna buy
graphics card has a
virtual
real
thing.
utility. That
Yeah, but
can
that's
do real
different than
things.
just buying in-game land, hoping that this
At
game
least I
takes
can, like,
off.
You know you can make money back from it and everything.
Yeah, that was an established
You
like
you already
system.
know.
Like,
Bitcoin,
hey, I'm gonna
what
take
it's
our
about.
hard-earned money and buy this fake land. We don't live in a house
Yeah.
yet, Dan. It doesn't matter.
Hey,
We're getting
and then
It doesn't
then
matter.
Dan's wife's
My
like, "Oh,
parents
let me
can
play
live
the
in this
game.
house.
Let me play the game. Oh, the game's not out yet."
So just imagine you saying, "Hey, I'm gonna go take 10% of my savings and buy a piece of land." That's just insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Dan
It's just
wouldn't
the
even
fact.
go
spend-
for it. She might have known more research about this than we do. We don't even know.
Yeah.
She
But
might
it's
own
just-
that piece of land
To me,
already.
it's just strange that people are like, for somebody to invest $900,000 in just a piece of the game,
I want to know
and
how
like
much
you
this
don't
guy's
even know what the
worth.
game is yet. It's not even out yet.
I want to know what his net worth is.
Peter Molyneux?
Is that who
Sure.
it is? I don't know who that is.
Yeah, Peter Molyneux. He made Populous. He made a couple other games. I can't remember the other ones. I always want to say Sims, but he didn't make the Sims. He might have had something to do with like the original one back in the day. But I don't know. I think it's weird. Just like we talked about Ubisoft with their Quartz blockchain, they all want to make their own system and have rewards that you can get. And I don't know. I feel like I feel like it could be good and fun, but I feel like the way this is going is bad. It's just sinking more money into something that might not go anywhere. Like, how do we know? They put they put $53 million into this game already by buying all this land. Like, is it actually going to be anything? We don't even know. What if a year from now they're like, fuck it. You know, we couldn't make it happen the way we wanted, so we just canceled the game. Like, do they get their money
Yeah,
back? Like,
that's
how
the
does that
thing,
work?
Like, the game isn't even out yet, and people are already pouring this much money. That's
It's like you
crazy.
pouring money into a stock and then in a year it goes bankrupt.
Yeah, but at least the stock, in order for the
risk.
stock to be there, it's out. Like, it's a company that's there,
Yeah,
established.
you could buy it before, like
Can you?
pre-release- like before a company goes live.
Yeah, but it's still a company that's established. It's not like you're like,
Yeah.
hey, I'm
And
going to
you're
make a
hoping to
company
find the
next year.
McDonald's, and
We're
then
opening
maybe in 6
$100
months, they're broke.
Yeah, but at least it's already there. Like right now, you can invest in this and you can't even play this game. You can't even see what it is yet. You can just buy land for it. You don't even know. What if
So
it's a
they
game you don't even
have,
like?
So they don't even have like a trailer or anything?
I haven't seen anything
That
about
just
it.
seems like a complete scam. Like, yeah,
So
they'll just cancel the
they're
game.
really just selling land already. No one even knows what it even looks like.
Yeah, it
Wait,
might
what
be
is
like
the
a
name of
Sims
this
game. It might be. It's called Legacy.
They're selling ideas right now, and
Yeah, exactly. That's my
people
point.
are
It's
paying
like-
for 'em.
It's like Fran, like, hey, I want you to buy stock in my company. Well, what's your company? Oh, don't worry, we'll show you next
don't
year. Just
know.
buy stock.
Okay, now. You
Yeah,
never
just
know.
buy it now. We don't know. We'll show you next
We
year.
may actually cancel it, but you never know.
I don't know.
I
It
need your
just
money
seems
to
so
think of
weird to
something
me.
To put it to make it.
And speaking of Ubisoft, they did announce that there's a new Splinter Cell remake in the works, but they said it's so early in development, they don't know if it's going to be a remake or a remaster.
I thought they were
So
coming out with the Splinter Cell VR, which is obviously a whole deal
Yeah.
in itself. But
that's still in development, but now they're actually reworking the series. I'm just not
honestly,
sure.
it's been a while since the last Splinter Cell game. That was like 2013.
It
So I
has
think
been?
that'd be. Yeah, it has. So
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind a reboot at this point. Like the game's been out. When did the first Splinter Cell come out? Like 2001. Like it's really
Yeah.
old.
Yeah.
Like on the original Xbox. So like at that point, like I'd say just reboot it. But since Michael Ironside's still alive, keep him as the voice actor. for
I
Sam Fisher.
say keep them. I don't know if they will. They didn't announce that yet if they're keeping them or not.
I mean, obviously he's too old to do the actual like fight scenes and stuff too, because motion capture. But like at least use him for the audio.
Yeah, you could still use his voice, I'd say, but I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see. But they announced it, but they did not say if it's a remake
Don't
or
do
remaster.
remake. Okay.
Well, here's the
I mean,
difference
remake
between
the
them.
whole game. Don't do a reboot.
I got confused by remake and remaster. One of them means that they just update the game to work on new hardware
that's
with
a
like new
remaster.
interface.
And then remake,
And the other
they
one's-
just like change the shit.
Yeah, the other
Yeah,
one's
make a
like
new
their interpretation of the story. So I don't know if they're going to change it and do their own interpretation again.
Like Doom 2016,
or just bring it
that's
up.
a remake. That's not a remaster. It's obviously a lot
Yeah.
different than Doom 1.
I'd
Like
say they
Resident
should
Evil.
just-
Well, I don't know. Resident Evil 2, I guess, is a
Resident Evil
remake,
2
right?
and 3, they still changed them up, like, because obviously they had tank controls
They-
and stuff, so I
Well,
consider
that's the
those
thing.
remakes.
They brought it up to new technology, so it's a remake. But then they also changed like some of the layout and mechanics a little bit. So I don't know, but the story's the same. So I guess it's a remake, not a
All I
remaster.
know is, Chris, did you ever play the Splinter Cell Blacklist multiplayer? And if so, what's your opinion on that?
I don't remember. I don't think I did. Is that the one we used to
That
play
where
back
you
in
were
the day?
Stalker
It was
and
Spies
then-
vs. Mercs, but they modernized it, and I hated it because they gave
don't think I played that.
spies like lethal weapons. Like you could just instantly stab a mercenary. They had guns themselves. Because Spies vs. Mercs, it used to be like they had the stun weapons, and then you could snap their necks. And then
Yeah,
they gave
if
the
I did
spies all
play it,
these
it wasn't
lethal
much.
options, and then I hated it, and I was like, this sucks.
yeah. If I did play it, it wasn't much. Because the last one I played, the spies
Sucked
didn't
at the
have
game.
lethal weapons.
Me and you played a lot of Double Agent Spies vs. Mercs,
Yeah.
but like we didn't play.
I like
Blacklist
Double
Spies
Agent. That
vs.
was a good
Mercs.
game.
I
Well,
was never good at finding the spy in the darkness.
Yeah,
They
Nobody
snapped my neck
was.
all the time.
that was the point. They didn't want you to.
yeah.
So the spies, well, the spies. So I don't know if they're going to bring multiplayer into the new game. Hopefully they will. We'll see. But the people that made Blacklist are the ones that are making this. So I don't know. We'll see. I hope they
didn't
do a
mind the
good job.
Blacklist Single player, but the multiplayer, like I said, I didn't like it. They dumbed it
Yeah.
down, in my opinion.
If I did play it, it wasn't much because the last one I remember playing a lot of, the spies did not have any lethal types of weapon or ammo or anything.
Literally, it was so bad. Like if you were a spy near a mercenary, you could press X and you'll instantly like kill them. Like before, you had to get behind their back, grab them, and then snap their neck. And there was a whole process to it. Now it's just like an insta one kill like button. It was stupid.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll see. I think it's good that they're finally making a game. I know this has been aggravating a lot of people over the past couple years because they put Splinter Cell on everything from Rainbow Six.
Yeah, they put Sam Fisher
to
and
Ghost Recon,
Rainbow
yeah.
Six, all that shit.
Yep.
And then they did VR, which is a niche market, which I don't mind it, but like still, it's just like it's niche, like I said. They didn't do
Yeah, I
an
don't
actual
know.
proper game.
I don't know when that comes out. I don't know if they had a release date for that. I haven't heard much about that in a while, but they did say it was still in development, so it's going to be
The
coming
thing
out
is,
though.
I think it's also exclusive to the Quest 2, which I can't even play because Oculus refuses to support their older headsets, which is bullshit. But that's a whole
Yeah.
topic in itself.
so Dan, you need to borrow mine, don't you?
I guess so, yeah.
All right, let's see
$1 a
what's
day to rent
next.
it.
I saw the Ghostbuster movie. Me and Dan went to see it. It was really good.
Yeah, I didn't see it. You're
Matt
right.
saw it also. He
fuck?
was there along with
Yeah,
Angela.
I was gonna
We
say,
saw
weren't you there, Matt?
it.
Guess
So
not.
Ernie
He
Hudson,
doesn't like me. What the hell?
the actor Ernie Hudson, he said there's definitely a new game happening. It's coming out. They don't have any details on it, obviously. But what do you guys think of that? Did you play the last Ghostbusters that came out on the Switch?
I didn't even know they
I
had a
didn't play it.
Ghostbusters
I didn't
game.
even know they had a game, honestly.
I played it. It felt pretty good. It was like a third-person action adventure. Like you would go to this area, or I think it was a cutscene to get there. But it was like levels. Once you got there, the one you're in a hotel, you're running around with your proton pack trying to catch ghosts. It felt pretty
played
good.
that
I'm
one.
not gonna lie. It was decent. What'd you think of it?
The one on the Xbox 360, I thought it was great. I had fun
Yeah, it
with
was. It's the same thing. They just like ported it to the Switch.
I got
Yeah,
I got
I
it
thought
at
it
a
was
time
good.
when it was like when GameFly and there's nothing to play, and GameFly was like, "Hey, dude, get a game. You're paying for this." So I did.
Yeah, and then you screwed over GameFly. They dropped
Yeah,
it.
you know what? Listen, I don't care.
Listen, listen.
Listen,
I-
he
you
doesn't
know,
use them
scam
anymore. It's fine.
you know.
Listen, it doesn't matter. I had to make money when I was 15. I found a way to do it.
That's
to
true.
steal games from GameFly and sell them to the store.
I don't have any shame to that, dude. I know a way to do it on
Hey,
Xbox,
Matt lived
too.
in the ghetto. He needed
Yeah,
that money,
shit.
Chris.
The ghetto. You lived in Dormont. It was the white ghetto.
Oh my god.
Anyway,
Pipe up over there, Swiss Helm.
anyway,
Swiss Bell. Okay, it wasn't Swiss Helm.
Same fucking thing.
No, it's not. One's a city.
so
one's not.
Matt's losing his mind. But anyway, so
These motherfuckers think I grew up in the ghetto. I grew up in Greenfield.
I didn't even say anything.
Number one
I
people.
Greenfield?
You chuckled.
Hey, Chris.
Greenfield.
Yeah, because I'm laughing because I'm
Greenfield.
thinking of Chris and our viewers. They're not even gonna know what that means, but I guess the six.
They
at least
know
of them
about
don't know the
Greenfield.
areas. Yeah, but
Greenfield
I'm thinking
love,
of people
baby.
on the internet.
although I will say, Matt, it is funny that you did that so often to GameFly that they banned like every address you could even get it like sent to. Your mom's address, every house your dad owned. Like
No, it was they banned the whole block that he lived on. They were like, he might be at any of these
That's
houses.
hilarious.
they did. They like he couldn't get an account. They banned like every address. That was pretty
Hey,
funny
listen.
though.
Listen, I was the real winner there because I never spent a
How
dime
did
on
you
GameFly.
sell the game? You didn't have the case.
I never made it to my house. I don't know what happened, GameFly.
Can
No,
I
he
go
meant, how
real
did you
quick?
sell the game
Oh,
to
actually,
people?
trying to do a
Oh,
digital rental service like
you
Game
don't-
Pass, and it didn't work
You don't
out.
have a case, you know, and it's like, oh, I don't know what to tell you. And he goes, all right, well, we're gonna charge you 25 cents. Oh no.
Anyway, so Ghostbusters is going to be
15
coming
bucks a
out.
month for a $45 game.
I think with the new technology, they can do a great job with it. I mean, we'll see. Obviously, it depends on the developer and everything, but eventually that'll be coming out. So let's see. Moving on. Halo has a glitch that enables couch co-op, but it comes with some serious limitations, and it can completely delete your save files. So I don't know if it's worth it. What do you guys think? If you could get
Not
into
worth the risk.
co-op early, is it worth playing?
No.
Well,
it's not
you
worth
already
the
beat
risk.
the game, though. Is it worth trying if you beat it already? I don't know.
I mean, like, if I have nothing else to like do in the single player game, sure. As long as it doesn't like brick my if I had an Xbox, brick my Xbox or something like that. Yeah, sure.
Well, you know, this kind of reminds me. Remember when we used to play Grand Theft Auto 4 online?
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me of that, where it's like half-baked. So here are some of the limitations. When you play, you cannot progress the story, and you cannot access the forward operating base. And the second player does not have a heads-up display at all. So they can't see their weapon, ammo, health, radar, nothing. So I don't even know if it's really
They
playable,
probably
but
secretly got into like a dev build that's obviously unfinished. That's probably why there's like no HUD and no way to use the fobs and stuff like that. I would assume that's what happened.
I'm not sure. I think you can do it no matter like what build. It's just a glitch in the game. Here it says, so you must be offline. You must have a second controller connected. You have to sign into an Xbox account, start the campaign with one controller. In the game, hit start, and then back. On a second controller, hit start, and it'll add the second player into the game. So it's just a glitch to the game. So, but I mean, it's just like when we played Grand Theft Auto 4 online. You couldn't really do much. You could just run around in the world and screw off and everything. Like you couldn't really like work toward anything. It wasn't actually Grand Theft Auto online. You know what I mean? I guess this is the same because you can't really go anywhere in the story or anything or access the FOBs or any of that stuff. So it's kind of cool they have it. I don't know if it's worth the trouble since you
You
can't
might as well wait for
do
the
much.
official release at that point.
Yeah, like it's just I feel like it's too limiting, especially the fact
When
that if you didn't finish the game yet, it could totally erase your game.
When they come out with the official release, I'm hoping that the enemies are tougher or they give you more enemies when co-op's a thing, because it would make the game way too easy. So I'm assuming they compensate
Yeah.
for that.
I think it would have to be like Back for Blood, where it increases the difficulty based on how many people are playing. So like if you're playing
Yeah.
with one other person, because I think it's a co-op's only 2-player, right? But if you have another person, they should increase the
co-op is
difficulty.
2 to 4 people depending on the Halo game. Like Halo 1 and 2 were 2-person, and then 3 ODST Reach were 4. I don't know about
Really?
Halo 4
Oh.
and 5 though.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's supposed to be 2 or 4, but either way, say it is 4, then they should skill it up, you know, to make it a challenge. Because otherwise, it'd be way too easy. Even with 2 people,
Yeah.
maybe on Legendary it's hard, But on like normal, it'd be way too easy with 2 people. It'd be
Yeah.
you just blow right through it. Speaking of Halo, though, multiplayer, they once again reworked the challenge system and the battle pass progression and all the shit people have been complaining about for 2 months. Did any of you guys play it at all? Did
I
you
played a
notice
little
any
bit.
difference?
I know, like I'm probably like the only one, but I know
No,
the
I haven't
temporary
touched it.
pass,
Sorry.
the samurai one, they removed a lot of the tiers that only gave the challenge skips and double XP because no one cares about that, and then they added like actual customization option into it, which is what
Well, that's
people are
good.
asking for. They added the playlist thing, which is what we were talking about, like Slayer only, SWAT only, whatever.
Nice.
And then they're also apparently looking into the store because the monetization is pretty high. So I think they're definitely addressing feedback, and they do have their own weekly or monthly like development videos. So they're actually being
I don't
vocal,
know.
which I appreciate.
It's annoying that we're even doing this though, because Fortnite showed a successful battle pass. Call of Duty's done successful ones to this point, and then they're like, people are gonna love that we put 40 tier skips in here, and they make it really hard to do.
Oh no, I
Yeah.
So it's just so,
completely
it's so
agree, like,
insane
it
that we
sucks.
even have to get to this point.
Well, I think what bothers me most about the whole situation was that leading up to Halo, they're like, we see other battle passes as a grind. This isn't going to be a grind. This was
And
like
it
the
ends up
worst
being a
grind of my
grind.
life. Like this was such a bad grind. I just gave up. I don't even want to do
It's
it.
funny because it is a grind because you got to do challenges. Every other
Yeah,
game you just
it's-
play and you just
Yeah,
rank it up.
it's worse than any other battle pass I've done. Like it's
I
even
don't
harder
think
than
any
Rainbow
other
Six
game
was.
Made you do challenges. Yeah, but Rainbow Six was just like that was a grind because they didn't give you much points, but you didn't have to do challenges.
That's what I
And that's
mean.
what made
It was
worse.
harder than Rainbow
Listening
Six.
to you and Brian complain about challenges, I was just like, guys, just don't do them.
Yeah, but then you can't progress. What's the point? Like then I can't unlock
Yeah,
anything.
you get your 50
Why bother?
points a game.
Well,
Or
now,
wasn't it?
now,
Or was it
but no,
25 a game?
no. When we were playing, they didn't do that. When we played with Brian, when I played with Brian, they didn't have that. It was back then. Like I haven't played it since they adjusted any of the shit.
Well,
I just
now
been
you
playing
get,
single
like,
player.
You get like one level. One
Yeah, it's like
Battle Pass
300
level if you
points
play,
for
like,
the
5
first
games.
game, and then they taper it down for like 7 games. But now they reworked it again, and I guess they're reworking the challenges too, which is
They
nice.
need
At least they're
to-
listening to feedback.
They still need to have like give you experience just for your progression and for winning too. I don't think they implemented it from what I saw from their dev video, they plan on adjusting it further.
You should
which is
get
good.
more points each game for winning. Unless
Oh, I
if you
agree. Like
lose.
you just get points for just playing, and so people don't care about the objective because it doesn't matter
say
if you win or
say
lose.
you give 60 points for that game if you win, and only 30 if you lose. Make them earn it.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I agree with Matt though. Like, it should have just been better from the get-go, not us
I don't-
complaining and
Yeah.
then people improving
It's
it. But
ridiculous. Listen, I was so happy. Oh yeah, but then you have like these hardcore. Listen. My one boy is hardcore Battlefield sport. He's like, oh, and he's like, give it a couple months, it'll get better. Why do I have to give it a couple months? They should have figured this out first.
I think Matt ruined Battlefield for me.
Dude, you don't want to play it.
I never gave it a chance because you
You
said
don't
you
need
weren't
to.
gonna-
You don't need to give it a chance. I'm telling you, it's not a good game. It's still bad. That's a month in, and it's still bad. Horrible.
Yeah.
You got the community mad because they put a Santa Claus skin in. What are you guys complaining about? The game doesn't work. Like its core, it doesn't fucking work, and you're mad about Santa Claus suit? Who
Wait, why were
fucking
they
cares?
mad about Santa Claus?
Dude, there was a whole article about it. Like the game.
Yeah,
was
they were
throw
they were mad.
snowballs
because
at
of
them.
how broken the game was, and then out of nowhere they're like, they put a Santa suit in, right, with an update or
Yeah.
whatever, and then everyone forgot how broken the fucking game was, and they're like, they put Santa in here. It's not realistic anymore. Who fucking cares? The game is broken. Focus on that. Who cares what your skin looks like? Make him a fucking lizard man. I don't give a shit. Who cares? It makes me so
Yeah,
angry that people
but-
focus on the wrong shit.
But you have a
Broken
point.
game.
Why is it that we have to go and wait for a game to get good? I mean, Battlefield's not the only game. There were other games that had the same thing, and they're like, "Oh, a year from now, this game will
Well,
probably be great."
Here's
Like, why is
here's
that a
my
thing?
2 cents on it, and I'm not defending
Yeah,
it, but here's my
you're
2
right.
cents on it. I think obviously it's quicker if they release an unfinished game, and 2, if they release more modes and maps later, it builds hype, which I think that's why developers do it. Obviously, I disagree with it, and I would like a more complete game.
Well, here's the thing: the two of the most successful shooters, and I'm not sure about the Vanguard number, so I shouldn't even say this one. But Modern Warfare brought tons of people back to Call of Duty. It's because they added a ton of modes and a ton of maps right away, and they had a ton
Well, I
of
think
content
also
to start.
because they finally came out with a new engine though.
Yeah, the
too.
engine helped for sure, but I'm saying that people were going to play Call of Duty regardless. People still play that game. See, people still get on that multiplayer and play like Search and Destroy, or like, they rank up the guns for Warzone. People still like that multiplayer because they did exactly. I mean, listen, the first month they realized that they didn't add enough, and they added 2 maps in the first month before the Battle Pass came out. Then the Battle Pass came out, and they added 2 more maps. So like they were adding content quick, and they were adding guns right away. It's like, is Halo gonna add new guns? Are they gonna?
Yeah,
add,
they do plan on adding more guns. I saw online.
And are they? But I'm saying, is it gonna be like? See, that eventually sucks. Like, give us a time frame. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's a good point.
New maps, are they coming out with new maps all the time? And the answer's probably, but once they get the Forge world and that comes out, the Forge comes out. Say goodbye to any original maps. It's all gonna just be boxes stacked up on opposite side of a cliff from the other map. That's boxes stacked up on the lower end of the cliff. Like, it's just the same map, but you rearrange the boxes. That's why I hated Halo 4. Because it was all Forge maps. Every time I played, I was just playing a different Forge map.
Yeah.
Dumb. There's no character to the game now. It's boring.
True. I gotcha. Yeah, so I don't know. I just think it's weird that you're paying money for a product and then they're like, oh, don't worry, the product will get better. Like, okay, well, the product sucks then. That's what you're saying. Like, when the game comes out, like Battlefield, when it comes out and there's all these problems, and they're like, oh, it'll be good in 6 months. Okay, well, then it's shit right now. It's garbage.
Yeah, like, listen, I understand. Like, I get it. These games aren't going to be easy to make anymore, and they probably have a way longer development cycles than they did back in the day. But like, if that's the case, make sure the game works at its very root, and then just give us a fucking ton of maps.
Yeah.
Like, just give us a ton of maps. I'm telling you, that people will continue to play that game and you can work around the issues that you might have. But like, as long as the game works at its core and it has a bunch of fucking maps, people are gonna find something to keep them interested and invested.
Speaking of companies, so Cyberpunk. Well, Fran brought up Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk obviously had a rough
Game
launch.
of the year, bro.
Rough launch.
Give it to
A
it.
year later, it'll be good.
Wait,
No,
is that
honestly,
game actually better now that we're talking about it? Like,
I don't know.
I haven't played it since like March. For me, see, the thing was, for me, I played on Series X. I didn't have all these problems that people had. I waited, once the game came out and I got it, I waited like 2 weeks to open it. I remember I opened it like right before Christmas last year and played it, and it was fine for me. There were a couple little bugs, but nothing game breaking. But due to the shitty launch, they had apparently CD Projekt Red was facing about 4 lawsuits from different companies or different investors and stuff. And they ended up paying out $1.8 million for this, which I think is crazy. Going from a game like at the top that like broke all kind of pre-order records and stuff to being a game that has to pay out $1.8 million a year later because people sued them because it was just a complete mess. That's just wild to me. Like, I wonder, do you guys think CD Projekt Red can recover? I mean, don't get me wrong. The game was a mess for like Xbox and PS4. And it was just, all year it's been shitty. They missed everything ever since the game came out. Because in January or February was supposed to be the Series X PS5 update, which still hasn't come. And here we are almost a year later.
I think
there was a bunch of updates that either got skipped or haven't come out. And now they're like, well, we're just working on fixing the game. Because they tried to do DLC and people just ate their shit for it. Because the DLC was like just a couple skins or something. It wasn't nothing good. There was no story elements. There was nothing. And people were just fed up with it. They're done with it. And now I think, is this lawsuit enough to really give them a kick or what? Do you think they can come back from this?
I think like financially, I'm not sure, but like reputation-wise, it definitely took a tank after Cyberpunk because everyone online's like, yeah, they underdelivered on all these features. Like the original trailers were awesome, and then the game was incomplete. And then you guys didn't really know this, but they have their own PC client, GOG.
I downloaded the game off of that.
So
I heard that was terrible.
Their big like stance on GOG is DRM free. Like they don't have always online anything like that. And then recently, during 2021, they released several DRM games on their store, and everyone was losing their minds. Like this, so
They completely go against it.
their whole stance on GOG, because like Steam, Origin, Battle.net, it all has DRM shit, and they're like, yeah, let's do DRM free. You actually own the game, and then they went against that, and then they released DRM games. Everyone's like, what the fuck, CD Projekt? So I think the reputation definitely tanked, but yeah.
And that's the whole thing. Now, see, people were like, oh, well, you know, it happened before. Like, I guess when The Witcher originally came out, there was a lot of issues. And then, of course, 6 months later, it was fixed. And as Matt brought up before, they gave the DLC.
To sell a Game of the Year edition and go, we fixed everything. Here's the Game of the
I
Year. Now.
guess.
It's the same price as the original, but we added some stuff. Like,
well, originally, the Game of the Year edition was supposed to be the game with all of the DLC once it was done. So, like, once all the stuff was released, they're supposed to make a package with all that, and that's the Game of the Year edition. But
that's usually
lately, they
but
just
I'm saying,
use
like,
that as an arbitrary title.
Could I talk about that a little further? Not necessarily Game of the Year, but you know how companies obviously sell season passes. A lot of companies are scummy and they're not putting out DLC in the season passes. Like you'll buy it and then they'll still sell DLC separately from it. It's like, what the fuck? Was this season's pass supposed to include everything? But
yeah, I agree with that.
Doesn't.
Yeah, that is weird to me
The only season
too.
pass that has ever been worth it was what's it called? The what can I think? Borderlands. Borderlands season passes delivered every time because their DLCs were like expansions, and then they made them cheaper if you bought the season pass. So if you buy the season pass, an extra $50, but each DLC I think costs like anywhere from 15 to 20. So
I agree with that, but there are companies out there that still sell shit separately from the season pass.
Oh no, I understand.
It's not worth it.
Call of Duty's one of them. There's a battle pass. Oh wait,
yeah.
Put all the actual guns you want in the store for separate packages.
I was going to bring up Call of Duty. What made me mad about them before?
But they give you the guns for free.
There was 11 Car 98Ks, and like 3 of those were like separate packs. The rest were all Battle Pass Car 98Ks. Every Battle Pass had a different Car 98. Nobody asked for that sniper every single time. That was dude, and like what was the big one last season or last game, Black Ops? It was the one light machine gun no one ever used. They gave you one of those.
The M60, bro.
Yeah, they gave you the
M60
every pass. But it probably was that one. It was the one that sucked. No one used.
The M60
like, here's another one. Here's another one. Here's another one.
Did you see how many M4s they gave out too?
M4. Well, the M4, but that's the thing.
But listen, speaking of what Dan was saying,
they nerfed the shit out of the AUG, and then they're like, "Here's 6 of them."
Yeah.
All in the battle pass. No one asked for these.
But what Dan was saying,
and then make them really good, and then nerf them.
Fine. At least we get something out of it, you know?
Yeah. But what I hated, though, like Dan was saying, was if you remember Call of Duty before the Battle Pass, before Modern Warfare, they would have Call of Duty and then they would have their DLC pass or whatever. And if you bought it, you would get the DLC like every 2 months. It was new maps or whatever. And what pissed me off, and the reason I stopped buying it, was because they'd be like, oh, 2 new maps and then like a reworked map from an old game. And then they'd be like, oh, 1 new map and 2 old maps. And I'm like, what the fuck am I paying for? I'm not going to pay for these old-ass maps that you're just changing, like, the look of.
The old DLC packs?
Yeah, from back in the day. Not the new one with the Battle Pass, but back then.
That's what every game does now. All they do is remake their old maps.
That started with Modern Warfare 3. And they did put 3 new maps plus 1 old map. But, like, they were like... I mean, at that time, I think it was like 4 or 5 years removed from COD 4, and they never remade a map, so it was a big deal then. Now they'll put out, like, now that it's free, I don't care what they put out, what map they put out. The worst culprit at it was Black Ops, though, because it was the same maps every year. It was Slums, Hijack.
Yeah. I hate Slums. They released it again.
The one map, Standoff. It was the same 4 maps.
Yeah.
They kept putting them back, and they go, we're bringing it back. It's like, dude, I know that, but I can go play your game from a year ago, 2 years ago, and I had the same map. Like, if Black Ops 4 wasn't a year removed from Black Ops Cold War, then that would make sense. But they were literally just separated by a year, and they released the same maps again. That was bullshit.
Well, we'll see. Hopefully, moving forward, the companies will go back toward the consumer base. Psych. We know they're gonna fuck us with all these Bitcoin shit.
Never.
No, bro, your boy the dog.
They're gonna blockchain the shit out of us.
No, the dog
Doc.
had listen, big ideas. He's coming out.
Oh, yeah, so let's talk about that.
Gamer
So-
friendly, but it won't.
Yeah, he's
He'll
coming
run
out
into
with
the same
Midnight
problems all the other companies
Society.
do.
Midnight Society
so
is
he
the
can buy
new.
more Lambos.
Well, Midnight Society is the new game development company not created by, but co-founded by Guy Beam, who plays Dr. Disrespect, and a couple other people. And he wants to work with developers and creators and content creators and try and come out with something a little more competitive and gamer friendly. I don't know. I think it's interesting. This could either work out really well in his favor and the gamers, for
Those
gamers,
streamers
or
don't
it could
give a
just go to
about
shit.
us.
No, but they
If
still
he
want a good
makes it-
competitive
if he
game that they
makes it
could
the
Yeah, for
stream.
themselves, so they can make more money when they stream. I'm
but-
just saying,
Yeah, but if it's a
listen,
shitty game, they're not going to make any
Listen,
money
I
because
love
nobody's going to watch
watching
them play it.
I
I'm
love
saying
when
if
Doc's
he
doing
makes
good.
it the way he wants and fixes everything that he complains about, which is what most people complain about, then I think it'll
that's
be
not
fine.
True. Doc will do bad with a gun and then bitch about like the entire game, and then he'll be like,
Yeah,
"Oh, I
yeah,
don't
but
like,
that's just-
I don't
that's
like
also
Dead
his
Silence.
character.
It's so
That's
Dead
also
Silence
his
is so
character.
bad. Stop
But
your
I'm
rounds are
saying
bullshit."
when he actually has a
Look what
point
happened
on
to
the
them. They're
game,
gone.
stopping
Well-
power was garbage.
It was not, but
I
it was already rare. And listen, no one ever said I can't stand the stopping power. Everyone always bitched about Dead Silence. Everybody said Dead Silence is bullshit. I can't hear him coming up behind me, whatever. And they were like, well, we're just gonna make that rare. And then but all these streamers would get killed by stopping power and get outplayed, and then they go, well, he's obviously cheating. Oh no, wait, he has stopping power in. Get rid of it, Call of Duty, and look what happened. It's bullshit.
Well-
they get to set how the game's being played just because people fucking want to watch them.
Well, I guess that's how it is. Like, it makes the world go round, right? Because, like, if
Ah,
there's no
so
game,
cheese.
if there's
Sick of
no
streamers.
game that people like to play, then nobody's going to watch them when they play. You know what I mean? If it's not entertaining. So, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what Doc comes out with. He says that there's a AAA game title in the works. He didn't release any details or the name of it yet. I mean, based on what he plays, I'm sure it's probably a shooter, probably first person. It'll probably have a BR in it. So, I mean, we'll see. Who knows? Maybe it'll be good. Maybe it'll be a flop. I feel like it'll be
So
one
you
or the
gotta
other.
design
It'll be
the
really
maps
good
again.
or it'll be a flop, complete flop.
So you're
So,
gonna design the maps.
I don't know. He didn't say what he was working on.
I
He's the
hope he does,
co-founder
so
of the
if they suck,
company.
then we can yell at him.
Apparently, they're hiring for a lot of positions. If you're looking for a
Yeah,
job,
did
there you
know-
go.
Wait. Did you know that he designed maps for one of
Advanced
the
Warfare.
Yeah, for Call
one
of
of the
Duty.
most notoriously hated Call
Yeah.
of Duties there was?
Yeah, I know. Well, he also helped
But no
in
one
the
hated
development
maps,
of Valorant.
though, but
What? I didn't like a lot of those maps. They were really.
I didn't
corny.
really like Valorant either, but who
I
knows?
never
Maybe it'll
played
be good.
Valorant.
I
That was very
watched.
slow.
I didn't play it. I just watched gameplay, and it didn't
Slow.
catch me at all. I wasn't
It-
Would
enjoying it.
you
That
want to
was-
sit
that
there
was
and
like-
watch somebody play Call of Duty
honestly-
S&D?
Yes, I've done that.
Yeah.
I
watched
do, but I'm saying
Wildcat.
Chris. I'm saying
I was
Chris.
gonna say Wildcat
Maybe
streams S&D, I love it.
S&D's kind of interesting to watch.
Dude, you that's how you learn routes.
See,
Watch streamers.
I like to watch stuff that I don't always play. Like I like watching Warzone and Battle Royales because they're tough to play, especially if people play solos. I find it interesting because I suck at playing solo. But I also like watching games that are like scary because a lot of the scary games, you don't get to or I won't play or whatever, you know what I mean? Like throughout the year. And so it's interesting for me to watch somebody play like we talked about last week. They announced that Slitherhead game from the people that created Silent Hill. And it's like that might not be a game I want to play, but maybe I'll watch somebody stream it. Like it might be entertaining. But that's why I like to watch stuff I don't normally play. Especially if it has fast-paced action or if it's really difficult. Like I think it's really difficult when you watch somebody play Warzone when they're in these high lobbies. You know what I mean? I mean, hell, we've been in a couple of those lobbies and it's been hard. But to watch somebody at a higher level play in those lobbies is entertaining to me. So we'll see. I don't know. Maybe he'll come out with a hit or a flop. Moving on to game companies. Tencent has acquired the developer Turtle Rock
They
Studios.
still haven't acquired 50 Cent.
No, they're only 10 cents. They want to be 60 cents, but they didn't get there yet. But they do have the Back for Blood developer. And it's kind of strange. They're all happy to be part of this 10-cent family, they said.
It's
I
so
feel
funny
like-
just hearing you say 10 cents.
They're only saying it because they're just trying to
Yeah,
convince the company that bottom
Because they're
out.
trying not to get fired.
Yeah.
But yeah, they kind of kissed their ass in the speech saying like, oh, this is great. It helps us have a global reach, blah, blah, blah. I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like Tencent is almost like a monopoly. Like they have
Oh,
they have a
are.
large
They own
stake
so
in the game
many
company.
companies, dude.
Yeah.
They
What
like Riot
percentage of
Games
the
with,
video games do they own?
with Riot Games, like
I don't
the
know
League of Legends and
exactly.
Valorant, they own 100% of them. With Epic Games, they own 40%. Activision, they got at least a 5% stake in. And then all
Yep.
these smaller games, they got like 100% stakes. And they're just like Chris said, they're a monopoly. And they also
Yeah.
have ties to the Chinese government, from what people said as well. So
Yeah.
it's kind of shitty.
And what's-
we're getting deep now.
Well, that's
Yeah.
what's interesting is that they start censoring stuff. Like, so
Exactly.
I know people made fun of John Cena and everyone else whenever they tried to apologize to China for whatever. But this is part of it because Tencent has such a large stake in the gaming communities now. And it's not just one. It's like Dan said, they got parts of Activision. They got like the full thing of League of Legends. Like they
Yeah.
actually control it. In fact, was it last year that announcer for the League of Legends tournament, the one guy, somebody said something about
it was
China
for-
or the
for
rebellion.
Hearthstone. The
Hearthstone?
guy from Hearthstone. Yeah, because Blizzard
Yeah.
Activision, they have a stake in that, and he said like free China because the people in China, like the Chinese citizens, they were
Yeah, I remember
protesting their
hearing about
government.
that.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
he got banned and lost his prize money. And then the two announcers that didn't say anything at all, they just got fired just for the hell of it,
Yeah.
even though they were just
Yeah.
sitting there.
Oh, wait,
and the
wait,
guy
wait,
just
no,
like
no,
screamed
And
it
then,
at them.
and then
What about
Blizzard's
LeBron?
shitty apology, like, yeah, we need to do better, and they never
Hold on.
unbanned him or anything.
If we're gonna
Yeah.
say anything about that, and listen, I'm not. Listen, I understand that our country doesn't have. It has its own issues. LeBron came out after the NBA. There was a guy from the Rockets that came out and said free China. He got so much shit from the NBA for doing that, and then LeBron came out and said he shouldn't be saying anything like that, speaking on things he doesn't know about. Blah blah blah. I'm like, dude. These people
That's
are
what
like
LeBron does all
actually
the time.
underneath a communistic government that's like killing their protesters
Yeah.
anytime they
Yeah.
go.
Yep, but
know,
they
try
own
to-
a
try to have
stake in
a
the
voice.
NBA.
And
you
you're
imagine-
you're being a Chinese sympathizer right now. It's or a communist
Could
sympathizer.
you-
That's insane. Like let's go back to the 50s when we were scared of the red, and now this guy's just openly on Twitter going, yeah, you shouldn't say that about China. Like
Well-
Big Daddy China, fucking LeBron shivers in his timbers, and he's like, I can't say nothing bad about them.
Well, that's where the problem comes in.
Could you
So with
imagine the riots happening in China? They would all be dead.
but
They all
here's
getting
here's
killed.
the
We're all saying
problem
we're
right
not
now,
allowed-
though.
but there's no outside media allowed in there anymore. The United States media got kicked out of China.
Yeah, but with
China
Tencent
is
owning
number
so
one.
much of the
It's-
game market, they could control all that. They could censor whatever the game puts in it. Like you might never see anything involved. Like you know what I mean? We saw before where games
No,
released.
No, you will. Doc won't have China a part of his. He don't like China.
Yeah,
I
but
don't
then
know.
Tencent offers
he
him
might
$1
not
billion.
even succeed. Who
I
knows?
know.
Tencent has
If he
stakes in
sells to
movies as
10
well,
cent,
and
I'll
they
be
do
so mad.
censor any like negative Chinese shit
Oh,
too,
I'm
like
just-
you said.
Yeah.
Just wait. Listen,
It's a good
listen.
point.
Activision owns fucking everything. I guarantee you, if Doc gets big enough, Activision's gonna come knocking on his door saying, "Hey, buddy, let me offer you a."
I don't
life-changing amount
know.
of money."
He had
Who did he
problems with
work for before?
Activision,
Sledgehammer. He worked with Sledgehammer, I think.
but he
Yeah,
had problems because they wouldn't give him a creator code on Call of Duty, and I know he got in a big fight with them about that. He was
Yeah, I
mad
think
at
they
them,
had a
so-
Shit about their
fall.
game, and they didn't like it.
Yeah, but he holds grudges, so we'll see. Maybe you're right. I don't know. If they give him
Yeah,
enough
but,
money,
like,
you'll be
everyone
right.
would sell out
Like
when $1
Matt
billion
says,
on
when
Yeah.
that
Everyone
money's on the table, where you're gonna just say no.
1,000%. I do. Listen, I could hate a company until I'm blue in the face, but they offer me $1 billion for something, I'll just like take it.
What if he says no, and then someone offers him like 800 million, and he just takes that?
Well, then listen, he's morally and ethically better than me.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. All right, in the last story this week, GTA Online has their new update,
over
the
GTA.
contract. I understand, but GTA Online has this
I understand, but
update,
we have to talk about this.
and they finally released
talk
what
on it
the what the canon ending is. So they finally released what the ending was. Now, first of all, did any of you beat the game?
Yeah.
It's 8 years ago when it came out.
Yeah, I was
me
gonna
too.
say, can I speak on the game?
Yeah, what would you like to say, Fran?
So, What? Why do we care 8 years later what the real ending was? Why wasn't it better?
It just
we all
kind of.
made up our own ending.
Well, no,
Or
I mean there are
we
3
thought what it
endings to the
was.
game.
Yeah,
Now
so
they
we
just say what
picked
the.
which one we liked.
Well,
We
now
ruined
you
some kid's
can't.
childhood.
Now you can't. If you play the story, then it's too late. It tells you what's the real ending now. Well, that was the same thing in Mass Effect. People played the game.
Spoiled their game like that.
But people played the game, and like certain characters would live or die, and then when you played the next game, they would be dead or alive based on what you did. But then if you played like if you didn't continue it on the same system, it would be all messed up, and they would just be like, "Oh, look, this person's just alive again," and mess it up. They're like, "No, this is the way it's gonna be now." Like they could just change it anyway. But so they did say that the final ending, where all 3 characters live, is the canonical ending. So if you beat the game and kept all 3 characters alive, you really win.
Yeah,
if
I
you
did on my
didn't, then
Xbox. I can't play.
they lied to
I
you.
can't play any of these nice DLCs on my new computer because they won't let me transfer my account.
I mean, you could just
No.
go back to your Xbox. All good.
I can't. I got rid of the Xbox.
Yeah,
I'm sure
can't do
somebody
that
got
anymore.
one for you somewhere.
He gave his box away.
Listen, how insane is it that we live in a world now where PCs are starting to take over, these new consoles are coming out, and people are switching teams or whatever, and they still go no account transfers.
Well, you get transferred if you
Dude,
go from
That's because
like
they
a new
want you to spend
system.
money on it twice,
Dude,
Matt. That's why.
dude,
You get
GTA
transferred if
is
you
the worst.
upgrade. You
Dude,
just
it's the-
can't
it's-
transfer it if you change systems.
If you're like really into gaming and you really like gaming, GTA is that fucking horrible ex-wife that keeps coming back for more. And like you just like you might take her back, you might not, but when you do, it just takes more of your fucking money, and you end up in the same place, you know, a couple months down the road.
See, I was
bullshit.
the smart one and just didn't get married to it in the beginning.
Fran just
Listen,
hated
it's
that
just
bitch from
bullshit.
the start.
Listen, I could say like we had our phase, like me and my friends had our phases with it, where we play it for a few months and then like it, and then get bored again, go back again. But like now it's to the point where we're all off Xbox, and they still won't let you transfer the account. So like I see all these updates, like the Cayo Perico or whatever, that DLC came out. Can't touch it. Doesn't matter. I have to go back to Xbox. Now you got this new one with Franklin, which I'd like to play. Can't.
Yeah, I haven't
Unless
tried
I
it yet.
wanna
I might
unless I
try
want to
it.
completely start over, but like just come up with an account transfer, please.
Well,
Just let us
start
do it again.
over, and
I'm
then now
not
you know the
starting
ending
over.
to the
You know how much
story.
fucking property I had? I had like every business there is. All these damn cars.
All the money gone.
The oppressor alone was the most annoying thing in the world to actually get. You know how much effort it takes to get that? Now I know why people go around and grief people. You had to buy the nightclub. Once you buy the nightclub, you had to save up and get the terabyte. Once you get the terabyte, you got to buy the fucking upgrade garage in there to get the missiles on the oppressor that already cost $3 million. So now you're out like that's $3 million for the bike, another $1 million for the cheapest nightclub, and another $1 million for the terabyte.
Yeah.
It's like $5 million. You know how long it takes?
But
to
hey,
spend
you
$5
buy
million on
one
that
you buy
fucking
one
game?
shark card, you're good.
No, not buying star cards.
I don't buy them either. I'm with you. I agree.
I
I
don't know,
just-
feel like
and I
Chris got
agree.
like 80 million.
No, I don't have it much. I never put $1 into the game. It's just whatever I made playing it. I'm up to
Yeah.
I think I have like 2 million right now. That's about it. I did buy all the
Just
different
spend it.
stuff.
I spent literally all of my money on there just trying to get ways to get more money to the point where like I had like 6 million at one point and I was like, fuck it, I'm just buying shit. I bought that Avenger plane, which was cool, and I bought a bunch of cars, drove them around for a day, and said, I don't know what I'm playing this for now, because there's no point. You're playing
Yeah.
Because
to
you
buy the
were a
stuff in the game.
baller.
It
You
is-
were a
it
baller
is-
in the video game, bro.
But Fran, it's such a fucking nightmare. Like it's a just weird roundabout game where you're playing to get ways to get more money to buy the like cars and shit that you can't do anything with. Like I can take my custom vehicle into races, but like that's not. It's no different from just like going into the race and using the free version.
Yeah, true.
Like it's just a paint job. So like, am I just playing this entire game just to get different paint jobs on my car? Like I find it like I don't know why. What is the point of actually playing the game anymore? There's nothing left to do. You can put out all the DLC you want in the world, but it's the same ending. It's the same starting, same ending point every single time. You go here to make money. You make the money. You buy the shit. You go to make the money. You buy the shit. It's like I don't know why, dude. I don't know why people still fucking invest so much time into it.
Did you buy the ray gun? That was the best part of GTA.
Yeah, I bought all
The
these
ray gun.
things.
Because
Bought
Fran
every
bought it.
weapon
He
you can
liked it.
have. As soon as
Well,
I
yeah,
figured out
Chris-
once you buy a weapon, it stays in your inventory. I just bought them to buy them, just to have
Yeah.
them in my inventory.
Well, Chris told me to play. We were gonna do the submarine heist, so I got on. I bought the ray gun because they gave me all this free money. Never played the game, and he couldn't get the heist to work, so I just was shooting it at cars. It was kind of fun. That was my extent of GTA.
All right. Before the pop question of the week, do we have anything else you guys would like to add or address?
Yeah, Walter, fuck off.
Oof, man.
Okay.
Fast one. That was
Shut
short
up.
to the point. That was like a real mean one. Like
he
he
even
meant
have
that.
an audio this time.
He meant that
Yeah,
shit.
I do have an audio.
Walter,
meant
do you
that
even
one,
game?
bro.
Come on,
You
You
man.
just meant that. You meant
Hey,
that.
I will
Yeah,
say,
he joined
it-
Brian. That's Brian's new best friend. He joined us in our party.
I have to say it was funny though. Me and Dan were sitting there waiting for everyone to show up to the movie, and Walter comes in and he's like, "Oh, it's nice to finally meet you." And I'm thinking, "Who the fuck is this guy?"
How did he know? Who
And
you
then I was
were?
like, "Oh,
the
Walter,
videos,
what's
the
up?"
videos, the videos.
Yeah, because he sees my face. I'm just like, "Who is this guy? What's he mean? It's nice to finally meet me."
So were you guys best friends?
No, he sat behind us somewhere. I didn't even
Yeah, he
talk to
sat
him. I
next
didn't
to
see
my
him.
nephew. He sat
Yeah.
next to my nephew.
I
all the
never
time,
even
and he
seen
was
him.
Like,
I saw him
he's
for
like,
2
yeah.
minutes, and that was
he's
it.
like,
All right, and for the pop question of the week, we all played Mario Kart. Who's your favorite character in Mario Kart?
Toad.
oh, boo.
Boo?
Yeah,
Big Boo or Little Boo? Is there two of them? Is there
No,
one? I
it's
don't
just Little
remember.
Boo. It's just Boo. One.
Just one? Boo?
Absolutely my favorite.
All
Love
right.
Boo.
What about you, Dan?
Laugh.
I like Metal Mario.
All
Yeah,
right.
you're basic. You're a white
You're,
bitch.
you're white bitch.
He's
I bet you
chrome.
like. I bet you like.
Dude, you're
leggings and
fucking
Uggs,
white
too.
ghost. What are you talking
Yeah,
about?
why don't you get your Starbucks, Dan?
I'm glad no one made fun of my guy.
Why,
He's
what's
little
yours,
Toad.
Fred?
guy.
Toad.
That was
Toad?
fun.
Yeah,
I
he's
think-
little, he's fun, he's fast. That was my man.
I think my favorite was like Link. I don't remember which one. I know you could
Jesus,
switch
well, I
between the
thought we
old
were
and new
staying
one.
the basic.
Wait, it's
like I
Link.
thought
It's Link. Link's not in the game, is he? I thought it was just a Mario.
Super
universe.
Smash, bro.
No,
He
he's
is.
in Mario Kart.
Link's
Is
not
he?
in. Which Mario Kart is he in?
The
He's
one
not
that's
in
on the
new ones.
Switch. I have it in another room.
What?
Yeah, you could be
Metal-
the
Metal
old Link or the
Mario
new
isn't in
Link.
Mario
They let
Kart.
you pick the old or new one. Yeah, Metal Mario's in there too.
Metal Mario's definitely in it.
Yeah.
I've never seen him.
What Mario
he's
Kart
like
did you guys
so
play?
boring. I didn't know Link was in the game.
I'm thinking of Mario Kart from N64, which is
No,
basic
wait,
wait,
about
characters.
the
while we're
Switch
here,
one.
no, while we're here and we're talking about this, because like next week if we do this the same question, it's gonna look the same. But favorite Smash character?
Do you want to
Kirby.
say it now?
Kirby? Yeah, go ahead. Well, fuck. You do this question next week. It's like
Dude, I love
feel like
stealing their
we're already
powers
along
and
the
then
same
I
killing
like
them with it.
I like Kirby too, honestly.
I never played the
Stealing
new
their
Smash,
powers
so
or
I don't
dropping
know.
the big
I'm not
blade on
sure.
them.
The old one, Super Smash Brothers Melee. Like that's the one everyone really thinks about when they talk about Smash.
I don't remember. I would just. Who did I use? I don't remember.
You were too busy getting pooped off the
Chris,
map
you didn't
by-
even
by,
play Smash Bros.
the
on the
tongue
Switch.
guy. I can't think of his name.
No, I never played the one on the Switch. I played the one on GameCube and the one on Nintendo 64 a
The
lot.
GameCube
Well,
one was really good
I
anyway.
think the GameCube one was the
Mine-
best one.
That's the one
Yeah.
they still use for the tournaments.
I
Yeah.
had two.
Yeah,
it was
Melee.
it was Young Link, and just because every time you would do up B with him, you go yeah.
Captain
And then
Alright.
Falcon Punch. Captain
Oh, you
Falcon.
were the Falcon.
Falcon.
Falcon!
Well,
And then they
since
could
me and
launch.
both-
They
since me and
launch
Dan
across the
both
map.
put Kirby because Kirby was just superpower than anyone on the map had. I'll
Yeah,
take
you just-
Samus.
I like
would just
Samus.
shoot the big ball
So you like
of
sucking
fire.
people off.
I would
I
just
like
shoot the ball of
Samus.
fire
You know,
and everyone
Fran,
would
I'm
hate
gonna
me.
be honest.
I
didn't
liked it
even
because
know
you
who
could
the
turn
fuck
into a little
Samus
ball.
Was until I
never
played
Metroid
the game.
either.
You didn't know
Never
about
played
Metroid back in the day?
I
I
really
Even
thought
know
Super.
who he
Samus
was
was
either.
a dude.
Dude,
I thought
wait,
Samus
wait,
was
So
a
did
dude.
I.
Somebody
I
said
still
that to me
think
one
he
time
is.
in middle school. They were like, yo, do you know Samus is a girl? And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? And they're like, Metroid. I was like, I never fucking played that. I don't know about that. I played Mario and Ratchet and Clank.
I played the old one,
Jack
but
and
I
Daxter. was
played.
playing all those games.
The only Metroid I ever beat was Super Metroid, and I enjoyed that. That was good. It's a good time.
People would freak out over Mega Man too. Never played Mega Man.
I liked Mega Man. That was good also.
Never
I played like
never
4 of them, and the 3D one that was not good. All right. Well, that's going to do it for this week. Popcast episode 12 in the books. Thanks for watching. Be sure to check out the other content. We'll see you next time.